Yuri, yeah, how are you doing?
Really good.
Yeah, welcome to Cannes.
Thank you for having me. First time in Cannes. It's beautiful.
Yeah, first time for you.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
How you find the city? What do you think?
I love it. Yeah, it's for the rich and famous. So I guess we're working towards that, you know?
Okay, cool. Glad that you enjoy your time here, right? You staying for long or you?
I'm staying until Sunday.
Okay.
So I got a Sunday beach day, which is nice. And the rest, the EFCC conference has been amazing. And the quality of people here have been really good. So yeah, like I see a lot of change in comparison to a couple years ago, where a lot was based on hype, and now it's all about, okay, who are you building for? What revenue are you having? What's the product looking like? And I think that's a good change for the whole industry.
What, would you say that the bubble has burst?
The bubble has burst for sure. The Bitcoin bubble is still going. I don't think Bitcoin is a bubble. That's actually really the core use case.
Yeah.
Stable coins are doing really well.
Yeah.
And I think the next big thing, what we're focusing on and what you guys are of course involved in, is AI.
Yeah.
And the change of that whole industry will in some way be led by crypto, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so, and I'm very happy about that. You know, a couple of years ago with some friends, we were like, yeah, it's time for adoption, it's time for real use case, it's time, you know. But still, the hype was very high, and I'm pretty happy to see so many builders today asking themselves the real questions beyond just how we can just make noise, right? How we can make something useful. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I fully agree with that, and. It's interesting to see that also the dynamics of the industry are changing a bit, where initially decentralization was core to everything, where now it's about product market fit and customers, and crypto as a payment rails or a way to orchestrate incentives or to build community and to set up companies in a different way has now become way more important than decentralization over everything. And I think that's the right approach.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I can but just agree with what we say. I've heard recently that some GAFAM were, starting to wonder whether crypto and blockchain was the right way of international payment, to remove all the fees that they are paying yearly for reconciliation and all these things. And we're like, yeah, there we go, right? Yeah. We're getting there, right? So, and that's great to see.
And we need to do it in these 4 years when Trump is president, because the legal landscape is open now, and we need to push hard, also here in Europe.
Yeah.
So I'm happy we're here in Cannes, that there's so much things happening in Europe, and also for us as a company based in Amsterdam, it's really excited to see kind of EU accelerate.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, before we talk about compute, because we have a very hot topic.
We do.
Compute. We're going to talk about AI, right? Which is a boiling, vibrant topic currently. I want to ask you to tell us a bit more about you, right? Where are you from? What you like, right? And why you think that crypto and AI has something to do together?
My name is Yuri. I'm from Amsterdam. The sign in Amsterdam, it says I am Amsterdam. That's the brand of the city. But I want to change it around towards AI Amsterdam.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah, that's cool.
We have some interesting AI startups in the Netherlands. And of course we have ASML as one of the biggest companies in Europe that's providing the machines that actually are used to build the chips in TSMC for NVIDIA and some of the largest companies in the world. So the landscape in the Netherlands is very AI focused in that perspective, but for us it's about creating the use cases. Now, I come from a background at AWS, so Amazon Web Services. I worked there for 5 years. After that, I started my own crypto VC firm. We did over 40 investments in crypto startups.
Wow.
And then at some point, with my brother, we were thinking about starting our own thing. Because when you've seen so many startups and you've seen so many things go wrong, a couple of them, of course, went right. For some reason, I thought by myself, maybe I can do it better. And that's how we went on to start working on Compute. So I made the mistake to go from investor to startup founder. And I got it a lot older in the last year alone.
It's like grounded to reality somehow, right?
It's for the first time you realize how hard it is to go from 0 to 1, to start something out of nothing, from just an idea. And it's not just technology, but it's also finding the right people to be with you on that journey. finding capital that believes in your idea, then testing out the product. So all of these things combined make building a startup really, really difficult. More respect for all the builders, but it also got me super driven to make a success about what we're building right now.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. Right, we are builders ourselves, and dedicates to Peter Thiel, right, from 0 to 1 again. I mean, it's so difficult, challenging, finding the right. But I think it goes with experience. You know?
What you said.
It's a learning curve, right?
What you said, that you started in 2015 in this space, that's like 10 light years, in the crypto world. So
everything changes so fast, right? Every 6 months there is a new thing, a new topic, a new thematic, right? And we see people coming and few are leaving actually, right? Even though it's difficult, I've never seen people really saying, I'm done, right?
Yeah, I wonder what it is. Like when I would think about it, I guess it's the sense of freedom.
Yeah.
The sense of you can try out things, push them out in the wild, and see the instant reaction of the community within 1 to 2 weeks, which is really powerful. It's in some way addictive because you're building out in the open, and you get constant product market feedback. And then of course, you have your token that basically reflects everything you're doing in a day-to-day basis, basically live. So that dynamics and the dynamicism of the industry, I think you cannot find in the corporate world. And that's also for me why I moved from AWS to the Web3 world, because there's just so much going on, and that's what I love about the industry. Yeah,
I can imagine. Personally, I had a background as well in traditional corporations, which is a very interesting and passionating as well industry and the way of working. But I wouldn't go back to this place because what we do is so vibrant. So talking about vibration, right, and startups, and can you tell us a bit about Compute, right? Because I think and recently you had a breakthrough regarding the product, and you're about to spin off something incredible. So, but just I will let you explain us where do you stand, guys? What you're doing there?
I appreciate that. So we are a very small team. We're at 5 people. Me as the CEO and co-founder, and then together with my CTO Dimitri, who is ex-NVIDIA. And who has a very good look on the LLM and AI industry as a whole, and mainly how chips are related to that. We met each other at a crypto conference about 1.5 years ago, and we had this initial chat about how can we use crypto to source demand for certain GPUs that can be leveraged by companies who need inference, image generation, video generation, and eventually model training itself. So we've all heard the promise of DePIN, right? Where communities contribute GPUs, and then training companies can use these GPUs for their operations, and the communities get paid for that. But what we notice, and you are in this industry as a crypto mining company way longer than we are, is that communities, they often don't have the right GPUs at home.
100%.
Like you need the latest types of NVIDIA machines
for the right reason.
For the right reason. Yeah. You need to guarantee a certain uptime. You need to make sure that latency is right. These people need to install certain packages in Docker containers. So all of that is a really complicated process. And about 8 months ago, me and Dimitri had another call, and we said, look, we see that the industry is moving into a certain direction. You of course have the large frontier model training companies, right? Like ChatGPT, Claude, and some of the other companies in that space. Now, if you want to compete in that space, you need $5 to $10 billion to buy an insane amount of infrastructure. And there's
just
only
5 to 10 billion, right? Just 5 to 10 billion.
There's no way that
a small barrier to entry, right?
A small barrier to entry. So it's only for a couple of the Silicon Valley guys.
Yeah.
And the danger about that is that AI becomes really centralized in the hands of only a couple of people, and they will basically decide the future of planet Earth, right? And then you have a couple of chip providers like NVIDIA who really benefit from that movement. But what we saw happening in the industry with players like Noose, Prime Intellect, Jensen, is that there's a push towards decentralized or distributed model training. And that push allowed us to think about a product that provides the infrastructure, so the GPUs, the NVIDIA H100, H200s, that these companies need to actually train their frontier models.
Okay.
So over the last 6 months, we've built a platform that does two things. One, it looks at the entire pool of H200 GPUs all across the globe, across cloud providers and data centers. And what that algorithm does, it allows us to book these GPUs for a certain amount of time and for the cheapest price possible. And our platform allows these decentralized model training companies like Noose to, for example, come to us, say we need this amount of GPUs, but we want our community to be a part of it. So we built a platform where the community can come. They can select a certain amount of GPUs that they want to contribute to these model training companies. And then we add these GPUs to their networks.
Insane.
And what that allows is they have the latest hardware, these networks, and the community benefits from potential rewards that these decentralized model training companies will give to their communities.
Two things. First, we were talking about the $5 to $10 billion barrier to entry. I just remind the story of the ex-co-founder of OpenAI, right? That just left the company, a woman that just raised $2 billion just to, out of nowhere. She's here, she said, okay, I've just raised $2 billion. To see, and just to say how big is the gap, right, to get into this business, right, to compete with the big ones. And so basically, and that's the beautiful things I understand from you guys, is that you are just completely getting rid of this barrier and giving access for training. And it's important to mention, for training and not for inference, access to this computing for people who would like to enter the game, right? That's what I understand correctly.
100%. That's exactly that.
Insane.
And what is interesting about it is that if you're a retail investor, right, and you want to be part of this AI race, how are you going to invest in this landscape? It's impossible. All these companies are private.
Exactly.
So only the top VCs can participate. Then some of the companies that are public that do something with AI are Google, AWS, Meta, but these are already trillion-dollar companies.
Yeah.
So all the upside in this industry is privately captured. And I think that's where crypto can make a massive difference. So what we envision is that there will be hundreds of companies that will build competing models to maybe very niche to ChatGPT and Claude. And you as a retail user, you can say, hey, this is a model, this is a use case that I really believe in. I want to contribute a certain amount of GPUs to this network. And then if that model is successful and these companies generate revenue or they release a token that's bound to that revenue generation, then you get rewards related to the amount of GPUs that you contributed. So that's
why the blockchain?
That's
right?
where
to
the
automatize all that, the exchange of value between contributors and usage of the model. That's brilliant.
Exactly that. And I must say, we're still a very small player in this whole space. You know, if you look at OpenAI, they use 50,000 H200 GPUs. And
OpenAI, Grok with X.
Yeah.
You know, all the GAFAM. You know, they are just massive, right?
Yeah.
And they are using a huge amount of capex, right, to compete to each other. And I believe that there should be a way, you know, not to just keep them the control over the next race toward AGI, right? And having players like yours is just extremely promising, right? For the future of this technology and for the future of the industry.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why we also really want to do more with what Hearst is doing as an epic data center provider who has access to the latest hardware.
Yeah.
And the way you guys source that hardware and open it up to people is extremely valuable, because if we let everything hang in the hands of a couple of cloud providers, again, power is centralized, and we're dependent on the will of Microsoft, AWS, and Google, right? And that's also a dangerous situation if you start thinking about AGI. Then we need a lot of competing models where anyone can benefit of the rewards that these models are providing to society as a whole.
Yeah, and it's everyone believes in this industry, the skillful one, that AI might be a very powerful weapon, I would say, in the future. I remember Jeff Hinton, dropping out of Google, saying that, well, somehow there's going to be danger, right? He's talking about something dangerous. So I believe that when we are aware of that, ultimately it's incredibly important to be decentralized, right? And that the power remains to few, because if you imagine that these super powerful tools end up in the hands of a few, well, this
never
type
good.
of situation in history never ended good, right?
No, it never ended good. It never ended good. No, so that's what we really want to avoid. And what I find really cool is that if you're just a participant in this ecosystem, and you see a model that is being trained on the challenge, what I mentioned before, is that retail participants who want to use their private GPUs to contribute to these models, those machines aren't powerful enough, right? So, your GPU processor in your laptop is not going to train a 100 billion parameter model. So the industry has slowly moved from distributed, decentralized training on 8 billion parameter models. That's companies like Jensen and Templar are now doing 8 billion parameter models. But then when you look at Noose, they're actually training a 64 billion parameter model in a distributed fashion. And they can only do that on H200 hardware. So maybe the way that we're offering it is less decentralized because we source the GPUs all across the globe, but we do give everyone the ability to participate in these networks. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Oh, that's great. I'm very happy to have you here today, and I'm very happy to hear about what you're working on, because I have a background in data science, right? It's something I've done, right? I'm not doing much anymore, but I'm very passionate about these questions of AI, about the data, about the decentralization, ownership, etc., etc. And I think what you guys are doing is very excited.
Yeah.
One very simple questions: what is the next step, and where do you envisage to be in 6 months, right down the line?
So our first primary goal is to onboard one of the frontier model training companies like Noose, where we already contribute a couple of machines to their testnet. And the next step in that stage would be to open up our platform to community members in all of crypto, in Noose's network, in our network, to come to our platform and contribute H200 machines to their mainnet and make that super transparent and visible. So people come to our platform, they select a GPU for a certain amount of time, these GPUs get added to the network, and machines and people can see directly that the machines are contributing to the training itself. And then in the future, they get streamed the rewards, the token rewards that these frontier model companies are going to give out for that contribution itself. That's going to be our first next step. And that's what we want to release in 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
And once that works, the sky is the limit, because then basically any company that wants to train a model in a distributed or decentralized fashion can come to us and say, hey, look, we want these machines, we want our community to participate, so we want to be part of your platform. And then we can basically replicate what we're doing for the example that I just named. So that's going to be our first step. And then in 6 months, what we want is to not just do this for Web3 companies, but also explore whether we can do this for Web2 frontier model companies who want to allow for anyone to participate through our platform, and in some way set up some reward mechanism so all of society can benefit from the models that they're training, and then make the whole model training landscape a lot more cost effective, a lot more competitive, and a lot more open to retail itself. So that's what we're working towards.
And I think you have the concept, and ideally I know part of the Compute team, and I think you have the knowledge, the skills, and the team to get there. So
I think we're on the right track. We're completely self-funded. We've built everything in-house. We're now working on a fundraise round to get some initial capital to work, so we don't have to worry about that for the next year. And it's interesting. You know it. You know, with Bitcoin mining, the scale of those things is just incredible.
Yeah.
Like
And I think we are not done yet.
No.
Because we are at 6-7% adoption worldwide, right? We are already at $2 trillion and 1,000 exahash, you know, on the Bitcoin, right? I think it's really at the forefront of the blockchain industry, and we are just starting. It's 6-7% of adoption. Where we will be, it's where there will be 30, 40, 50%, and it's the same for AI, right? I think it's just a very native and growing industry. So everything has to be done, and the new models, the model that's going to be the leader in 5 to 10 years, is maybe here.
It's maybe here.
Yeah,
that's
what I wish for you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So maybe your last questions, because we have a listener of these interviews. If there is anyone interested to getting on board, participate somehow in Compute, what are the options? What are the opportunities that you offer to communities?
So there's two people that can really participate with us right now. One is we are looking for companies that want to train models.
Okay.
And need H200 NVIDIA GPUs.
Okay.
So that's one part of the equation. So if they want to train models on H200 GPUs for the lowest price possible, they should reach out to us because we're sure we can offer them something they currently don't have.
Okay.
So that's one thing. And then the second thing is in 6 weeks, we'll open our platform to the general public.
Okay.
And if they want to participate in sponsoring GPUs to the NUS network, they should be a part of that. And this is, in my opinion, the best way to participate in the AI space and to actually be part of training the networks or models that you think are going to succeed in the future. And also reap some of the benefits that these models will give to society in terms of financial rewards, right? So those are the two things. And what I would recommend people doing is join our Twitter, and join our Discord. So x.com/compute3.
We will drop all the links below the video. Yeah.
Beautiful. And then I hope a lot of people come to us, reserve some of these machines, and be part of the first training runs.
Okay. Yeah. That's excellent. Thank you very much for being with us today, Yuri. It was insightful to hear from you. And we wish you all the best for the success. And I believe that in the coming months we will have another talk where you explain what you've released and how does that work.
And how it works. Yeah, I appreciate you having us here. I know what you're all doing in the mining space. It's really exciting to see what you guys are building. So we're very happy to partner with you.
Yeah, pleasure having you. Thank you, Yuri. Thank you very much.